Hi, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Gwen, and you're listening to the Gwen Aussem podcast. This is where we spend some time to intentionally create an awesome life. What is that? It's unique to each of us, but really a life that you just enjoy living, where there's a lot of fun, a lot of joy, a lot of excitement, just peace, whatever you believe is an awesome thing. And today I have a juicy topic. Sorry, not juicy, a hot topic, a topic that is on my mind and heart, jealousy. But before we get into that, I want to share with you a few life updates. So as of recording this, I'm very blessed to say that I am doing well, doing well. I went to a midwife appointment this morning, found out my tiny baby grew another pound in a week. He's growing fast. So it's pretty fascinating to watch a little tiny being grow in length and grow in weight so fast in front of your eyes. It's just a beautiful thing. It's also funny. I've noticed that my mood, and I've talked about on the podcast before, managing the mood is a very important thing in life. And my mood since becoming a mom, it's either very peaceful, calm, nurturing, loving, or I go to agitation. It's never really overwhelm, which is something I used to live in a lot. Overwhelm seems to be gone, knocks on wood, but agitation comes back with fierce claws. For example, my darling husband, he is on his way to the gym. First of all, I'm jealous. Just going to go to the gym. Second of all, he mentioned, this is my fault, but I let him know if there's something that needs to be cleaned in the house or is bothering you, let me know, and I'd be happy to tackle it. I kind of am doing more of the cleaning and stuff, but he also is a very clean person and likes to clean. But anyway, as he's leaving to the gym, he lets me know that we need to dust the blinds, and also notice that there's like little we have white walls in our house, and he's like, do we have any of those those white magic erasers, because there's some little marks on the wall. He's not saying that to intentionally try to bother me, but my God, there's so many big things in my mind that need to get done. And it's just funny that it's like those little things. I feel like it's a test from the universe. Will you snap? Will you let it go? So agitation, that's what's coming up. But let's cleanse the palate, shall we? I love to start podcast too by pulling an inspirational card from the deck and really just asking, what is the message that I and you listening need to know today? What is the message we need today? The message is, it is not my responsibility to convince anyone of anything. I find this fascinating from the jump because I actually said this earlier today. It's not my responsibility to convince anyone of anything. And on the back, it says, make your decisions about what you want and set out to create the life experiences that you choose and allow all others to do the same. Wish I had this card during COVID because when I tell you, I was so confused by different people's reactions, and I was trying to convince everyone to believe exactly what I believed. And guess what? That didn't work. So if you are currently trying to convince someone to do something in your life, let's take this as a little reminder. It's not going to happen. Just tend to your own garden, tend to your side of the street, focus on you and what you want to create. Leave them out of it. That's our message for today. So let's get back to our topic today of jealousy. I was really kind of curious, like what is jealousy? And was looking up a few definitions. And one of them was from Wikipedia, reliable source. It refers to the thoughts or feelings of insecurity, fear, and concern over a relative lack of possessions or safety. And then dictionary.com said jealousy is resentment against a rival a person enjoying success or advantage. Basically, what it's saying is jealousy, we're living in lack and disbelief that what we're seeing out in the world is possible for us. Now, as a new mom, I'm spending way too much time on Instagram. I'm just going to be honest. I thought, when I was feeding the child, I'd just be looking into my baby's eyes and so focused. Getting bored. I need to go on Instagram, which is kryptonite for a new mom. There's so many reasons for that, especially as a mom that used to work full time and is now not working full time at this exact moment. But wow, it's just from the bounce back to the body vibes to the all the different things people have for their babies, and the amount of money people spend on different things for their baby. It's just I just can feel twinges of jealousy, tidal waves of jealousy that come over me. And I am not afraid to share it, because the truth is jealousy is an invitation. And we're going to talk about, I'm just going to be transparent and share with you what I'm jealous of in life, because I think it's a relief to know that people are jealous, obviously. And I know, especially the topic of being a new mom and having a healthy, happy baby is jealousy inducing. It could be. I have friends that have tried to get pregnant, have not been able to get pregnant, friends that are not in a relationship who would love to have a baby, friends that are on the fence, and just me having the clarity of having a baby. It's a jealousy inducing topic. So it's normal. As a human being, we get jealous. So what am I jealous of? I would just say when people make it look way too easy, when it looks way too effortless, I just mean life, like their posts and everything. I'm really jealous right now of just beauty, people who can take the time to doll themselves up, to beautify themselves. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting one that I'm just jealous of, people beautifying themselves and just the abundance. For example, I went on Gigi Hadid's Instagram and saw that she had stories pinned on baby stuff. And it's so interesting to me. She has, I'm sure, all the money in the world to buy any baby thing she would ever need. In her pinned stories, you could see whether she was gifted something or she bought it herself, different gifts for her baby. And I saw basically everything was gifted to her and everything was wildly expensive. And it was just so eye-opening when you see people who can buy their own stuff are just given everything that they need. It's the whole concept of the rich get richer. It's just they are living in a state where it's just, of course, I'm going to be given stuff. Of course, everything's going to be given to me. And I just recognize myself being like, wow, wouldn't it be nice to be able to buy absolutely anything and then also have it all given to me for free? Wow, that's just flipping the switch, people. So it's also, as I kind of self-reflect, notice that I'm not really jealous of people who are 100 steps ahead. It's more people who are 10 steps ahead. So two moms that I think are iconic are Sasha Exeter and Melissa Wood Tepperberg. They're both in their 40s, the fittest women I've ever seen. So beautiful moms. I just love their stories. I look at their stories and I'm not jealous at all. It's more of just wow, because they are so far ahead in terms of energy, vibe, gorgeousness. What I tend to get most jealous of is people who I feel like are on my wavelength, on my level, who are getting to do the cool things. I'm like, wait, we're on the same level. How come you get to go on this trip for 2 weeks, all inclusive with your tiny baby? And then you're going again? These are the things that get to me. And something that used to get to me as a jealousy when I used to work in my 9-to-5 tech jobs was whenever anyone would go on vacation, especially somebody on my level, somebody that would take 2 weeks and just go on a fancy trip. I'm like, wow, you can take 2 weeks and go on a real trip. Like I remember in my first year of working in my last job, I took half a day off. Now, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I work so hard. That was foolish. I know that, but I just didn't feel like I could take time off, and it felt way too frivolous to go somewhere and spend that kind of money on a vacation. So as you could see, my jealousy really stems from taking breaks and investing in leisure. That's what we're learning today. That's what I'm learning today. So a couple more things I'm jealous of, and then let's talk about solutions. And also, I hope as you're listening or watching this, kind of taking stock of where are the areas that you are feeling that pang of jealousy as well, because there's so much good stuff to uncover in this area. So I'm also just jealous of when people have free time, specifically kind of like my husband, who is going to the gym and just, I'm going to work out, or husband again, getting a full night's sleep in a king size bed alone. And I'm not, although it is my choice because I just want one of us to get a full night's sleep, and I'm doing okay, but just, sir, you cannot be, exhausted after sleeping for 8 hours straight in a king size bed. Okay. You just can't. I'm also really jealous of when I see moms who have clarity, ease, and abundance in their business. It's just a clear funnel. It's easy. It's effortless. I'm getting there. She's not there yet. And it's just something that would be so amazing if I could crack the code on that. Just having the money to do whatever you want, that's just a dream that is excited for that to come forward. And back to that wellness and beauty thing of just people who are putting time and effort into caring for themselves and who are calm and peaceful and are enjoying their lives. That's just little moments of, I want some of that. So it really does feel like with jealousy, it's like putting your hand on a hot stove, especially with Instagram or social media. If you, like me sometimes, get into that lower level state where you're just kind of hate watching or jealousy watching people's stories and posts, that's like putting your hand on that stove and not taking it off. And my friends, we got to stop that. A real flip that I've been learning from Sherry Salata, who will be on the podcast soon. Awesome producer, author, teacher. She has said, instead of saying I'm jealous of it, just say essentially to the universe, to life, I want some of that. So it's, instead of being like, oh, I can't believe it, they're getting to do that, oh my God, it's like, just say, I want some of that. I want some of that. Life, I would like to conjure some of that into my life. When I see somebody in Hawaii hanging out, we're not going to get jealous. We're just going to say, I want some of that. Bring it in. That's where we're going. So here are some of the solutions, some ways that I unhook from the pangs of jealousy. Number one, we'll get off Instagram, of course, but take a walk or a meditation. Really diffuse the intensity of the jealousy energy. We need to drop it. So whether it's meditation or you need to move, go for a little walk, a little nature loosens that grip. Number two, journal about it. Sometimes you got to be petty. This podcast is kind of petty, kind of like a journal, but you got to be petty and just get those emotions out. Say what you need to say, write it down. I prefer not to talk to someone else about it necessarily in a complaining way. It's more of just get it out on paper, see what the fears really are underneath there. And it usually comes down for me of just not feeling good enough, or just not feeling like it's possible for me, or it's not going to happen for me. Really fun, disempowering things, but getting it out feels like a bit of a relief so that we can start building in the right direction. Another fun thing is to play the Wouldn't It Be Nice game. That's a game from the Ask and It Is Given book, which is an Abraham exercise, which is essentially, instead of just saying, these are all the things I want, saying, wouldn't it be nice if? I went to the Four Seasons in Hawaii and stayed there for 2 weeks at an all-inclusive resort. Wouldn't it be nice eases into the idea versus I want this, I want that. Wouldn't it be nice if I could just go to the gym? Wouldn't it be nice if I got into really good shape? Wouldn't it be nice if I felt well rested? Doesn't that feel kind of nice just to have a little bit more of a ease into some of the things you want? So take a page in a journal and just say, wouldn't it be nice if I ... The appreciation game. Once you can get some of those emotions out and you're feeling a bit better, having some appreciation for what you have goes so far. Because if I was to be completely honest, I do want to go to Hawaii. I would love to stay there for a few weeks. Hey, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But right now, today, if someone said, hey, here's your tickets to Hawaii, I'd be stressed. I don't want to go to Hawaii right now. I want to plan for it. I want to dream about it. So take some appreciation for what you have right now. I have a happy, healthy baby. I have time to record this podcast. That's free time. Just the little things like a nice cup of coffee, fresh air, just beautiful, simple things that you can appreciate in your life. Another way that I can unhook from jealousy, just hug a baby or hug a friend, hug somebody. I say a baby because they're so cute and they make such funny noises, and I have one around now, but just something that's kind of like, get your mind off of it, hug a baby. Or also listening to some comedy, listening to or watching some comedy. Comedy is fantastic if you find the right people. I'm really into Heather McMahon and Ray Padilla right now on Instagram. They just make me happy when skies are gray. They really just bring the LOLs and bring the realness in life and help me remember that, okay, we're all just figuring it out. And the last things that I do sometimes is either read a book. So get my head into a book, whether it is a comedy book, whether it is an inspirational book to remind myself that anything is possible in this life. Just kind of getting myself back to believing, and also inspirational stories. Sometimes reading stories about people like Laura Belgray, who's the author of the book Tough Titties, which is like a comedy book. Hearing her story of just following her path and being a bit of a late bloomer. And when she turned 50, she had her first $1 million year in her business, and she's really been building it her own way. And just her story of just following her intuition, trusting her gut, really just was like a salve to the soul of just calm down, go your own way, do it your own way. So those are a few of my solutions for jealousy for me, but I would be very curious to hear how you deal with jealousy as it comes up, jealousy or envy in your life. And if you have any solutions, I'm very open to it. But just remember that jealousy is essentially an invitation. Jealousy is amplified awareness of desires that you have that you are not yet fulfilling. So it's really an invitation to get clear and focused and start working towards some of these things that are clearly core desires that you want. So I would love to hear how you deal with jealousy and some of your solutions. Please leave me a comment on YouTube or Instagram, and let's work through this together and get back to just being in that place of love and joy. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. I truly appreciate you being here. And I would love for you to subscribe to my email list, which you can see in the comments below. Or if you like this episode, rate it and leave a review. That would be phenomenal. Or even share it with a friend. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful day, and take excellent care of yourself.